influenced you in your music?
Oh, wow. I'm one of those weirdos that has, my iPod is full of the most eclectic mix. I mean, people like to say they have a wide variety of music. Mine is stupid. I mean, to the point of thrash metal and Metallica, and then the next song is like, you know, Frank Sinatra or Barry Manilow or Neil Diamond. There's nothing like being in the gym. You know, you hit your playlist when you're working out, and, you know, you search for an upbeat song to get you started, or maybe some Journey comes on, or some, you know, whatever, some hard rock band, and you're grooving, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're on the bench press, and the next song that comes on is Strangers in the Night by Tony Bennett. You find yourself with, you know, 245 pounds over your head listening to a crooner, and it's just, I don't know. And then Barry Manilow comes on, and don't even ask me about Barry Manilow. That's just, I don't know.
Well,
that's
your
awesome.
podcast, your iPod sounds like mine. I love all that music.
Mine too. That's exactly what's on mine, and more.
To me, music is,
ABBA?
That's the point. Oh, I love ABBA. Kidding me?
Yes.
Mamma Mia is awesome. But that's what makes me crazy, though. I kind of have an appreciation for all that stuff. You'll never hear me downplay any kind of music or you know, badmouth any genre, because it's music. You know, it's all great in its own way, in its own, you know, it just speaks to people in different ways. And those and in doing theme park, man, I had to change like a chameleon every other number. You know, 1 minute I'm singing Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart. The next minute I'm doing a Cole Porter, you know, jazz number. But that's what theme park is. It's just a wide variety of eclectic music strewn together.
Did you take singing lessons, or is that something that came natural?
I'm sorry?
Did you take singing lessons, or is that something that came natural?
That was a natural thing to me. I mean, I don't consider I'm not like a dynamic singer. I think I'm more of a performer than a singer. My range is limited. You know, I'm not the high tenor that can hit the money notes, but I perform, you know, and I love to do that. But as far as people that have influenced me, I mean, that's just I could go forever. Music influenced me in general. I don't think there's a particular performer.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love talking music, but I wanted to ask you, because I noticed that you attended Dickinson College with a BA in political science with honors emphasizing in mass media politics and constitutional law. So I'm curious, what made you choose to become an actor instead of pursuing a career in the legal world?
That was a decision I made graduation day, actually. I had always had these two loves. One was becoming an adult and doing something I thought I wanted to do, which was become a lawyer. My dad was a lawyer. I always admired the hell out of him, and I always looked up to him as a kid. I'm like, God, this guy is honest and awesome, and he's smart, and I think I want to be this person. So I went to school for that. But during the summers, you know, I did my theme park stuff. As a matter of fact, in college, every summer I worked at Hershey Park. And then during my academic year, I would study to be an attorney. So I had this dual life, if you will. And when it came crunch time to go to law school, I went to my father and I said, Dad, you know what, do you mind if I take a year off and just go piddle around with this acting thing? It's probably going to just be something I need to get out of my system. And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, Eric, yeah, take all the time you want. You should. There's so many lawyers out there. What do you want to be a lawyer for anyway?
Wow, not an answer I expected.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those things where your father, you know, wants you to be this and you need to be this. He was one of those just terrific guys that said, follow your heart, man. Do what you want to do. It may be scary, it may be unstable, and you may be living in a box in New York for a couple of years, but but he's like, he noticed. He's like, Eric, you light up. You know, you light up when you play pretend. Whether it's a play or music, it's just what you love to do, and go do it. And so I did, and sure enough, after a couple of months in New York, I started literally booking jobs and making money and realizing, heck, I might be able to do this. So that was it.
Well,
I put the lid on the lawyer a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of parents would have said, no, finish school and then go do what you want to do. I've always told my children when they told me they wanted to be an actor or singer or something like that, go ahead and do it. You
Sure.
can be whatever you want to be, but, also take up school so that way if you don't get that part or you are struggling to get a part and you need some income in the meantime, you have something you can do.
Absolutely. And there might have been a time back in the day when I would have needed that education to fall back on. It's so important. I'm going through it right now. I got 7-year-old twins, and I just got done doing homework with them 20 minutes ago before I called you. And my one boy looked me dead in the eye, and he said, "Dad, this is really hard. Are you sure I'm getting smarter?"
Aww.
And I said, "Buddy, I am so proud of you. You are getting so smart, and one day you're going to be so happy that I made you do this ridiculous."
Aw, that's sweet. And was it easy for you to do the homework? Because homework for 7-year-olds is more like 8th grade homework these days.
Oh, yeah. No, forget about it. I mean, he literally, he was like, "Dad, he has multiplication already. It's first grade."
Yeah. Wow.
I'm like, he's like, "Daddy, is this correct?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let's get the calculator and just check it out." Yeah.
Thank God for homework
Father of the
hotline.
year right here, man. Whatever.
Well, when you got your part as Ethan Winthrop on Passions, was that the first soap you ever did?
That was my first television job ever. Yeah.
First one. And you were voted favorite actor more than 80 weeks in a row by Soap Opera Digest. I think they liked you.
There was a time. Yeah. I mean, it was Ethan was an interesting character in the sense that he frustrated the heck out of me because he was so just Dudley Do-Right. The guy just wanted to do everything right. And it bothered the heck out of me because people aren't like that. They want to do the right thing, but Ethan basically lied to his wife for about 10 years and said, "Love you, I don't love this other girl." And basically for 10 years it was the same storyline. He would fool around and with this other woman and behind his wife's back. So it was really a frustrating character to play, but it did have a fairy tale aspect to it. And so, but when I got this Brady Black guy, and I'm like, ooh, down with this guy, a substance abuse problem? Heck, I might even grow some scruff out for this dude. It was such a departure from what I was used to,
Yeah, you are amazing as Brady, and you definitely have made him your own. And I'm curious how you enjoyed working with Eileen Davidson lately.
Oh, she's horrible. She's just a total mess. No, she's going down as one of my favorites. She really is. I made a comment the other day. I actually and it pretty much summed it up for me. I mean, I've never met a veteran that was still so into her material and so fresh. She still just cares, and she still gives a darn so much. And that sounds silly, but to people who've been doing the soap opera thing for so long, it's easy to just start pedaling and coasting. It's easy to forget what's really important and to keep trying to find new things to do. Because so often we recycle storylines, okay, it's the baby switch, or it's the who's the father, or it's interesting when actors try to put spins on it and they find holes to create interesting ways to portray the material. It's so admirable. And Eileen's one of those ladies that just, what if we did this, Eric? Hey, I know, let's not do that. And she loves to throw curveballs at production and at the people she's working with, and I love it because I'm that guy too, especially a guy from the theater where sometimes you have to fly by the seat of your pants.
Right.
She'll do that. She'll just throw you something different, and you have to roll with it, and that's what makes acting fun, as opposed to going through the motions.
Yeah, and she's so believable at everything she does.
I think that's why, because most of the time it's spontaneous, and you'll see, and it makes the person you're acting with better. Because if you don't know what's coming, your reaction is going to look pretty damn real.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because let's face it, as actors, we know what's coming. We know the words. We know what we're supposed to how we're supposed to react. But if you surprise the other person within reason, you get a much more interesting reaction, which will translate over the screen.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm having a ball with her. I'm a total fan of that woman. She's awesome.
Yeah, I love her.
And everyone
too.
wants to work with her. I'm like fighting off everybody. And of course, that has to do with things I can't really talk about, but things will transpire where you'll see. I'm like, hey, hands off my girl, okay?
Right. Well, right now we know that Brady's in love with Kristen, who's using him to get back at John and Marlena, more so John, I would think. And I do believe that Kristen is falling in love with Brady, although she doesn't realize it yet. And I love Grandpa Victor. He cracks me up. That's where we're at right now.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yep.
Wait, what was your first comment? You said, who's using who to get back at who?
Kristen is using you to get back at John and Marlena.
Are you sure?
Well, as I said, I think that maybe she's actually falling in love with him, but she doesn't realize it.
How do you know that Brady isn't using Kristen this whole time? Are you so sure?
Now I'm going to have to think about that.
I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just throwing.
Yeah. Well, it's
when
just
you think
how we see it playing out.
So, just when you got it figured out, maybe you didn't have it figured out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it certainly seems that way, and I agree. Brady has the wool over his eyes right now. He's pretty gullible, but he's in love. I've gotten a lot of comments. Truth be told, via Twitter, via whatever, fan mail, and it's like, hey, Brady, come on, wise up, man.
Yeah.
How can you not see that this girl's playing you? And anybody's ever been in love out there? You don't always world through. Rose-tinted glasses often come into play, so
exactly.
I don't look at it as he's not a stupid man. He's a man who wants to love. He's a man who's lost a couple fiancés. He just had one tragically die, for God's sake. He wants to love, and when you want something badly, you don't focus that well, but that's human. That's a human trait.
That's right.
And it's more fun to play the humanity of a character rather than the ultimate hero that's always on top and always gets it right and always gets the girl and always knows what's going on. That's not real,
No. No. And we watch soaps for escapism, but there's got to be some reality in there too. Otherwise, we'd just watch Star Trek or something.
Right. If you want the ultimate fairy tale, turn off Days and go turn on The Little Mermaid. But I think it's a little more fun to have escapism that's rooted in something that could actually be relatable. Yep. I think that's why reality TV is so big. They want to. Well, not only do they want to see people crash and burn and in their own lives and laugh at these, but they want to see what's really going on out there. Something that's relatable is really interesting to watch.
Yeah, well, if you're into that type of thing, I'm not necessarily into too much of that because I don't know. I think it's just dumb sometimes, and to me, it doesn't.
I agree with you. I totally agree with
stuff, for the teenagers that are watching it.
Yeah, it's getting gratuitous. I mean, the shows that they're coming out with are just. I don't know. I don't get it.
No.
I mean, are we going to have on SoapNet one day, are we going to have like a soap actor diving contest? I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised since we've gotten two of those diving shows already back to back, one on Fox and then there's one now on, I think it's on ABC. I don't know. I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But instead of the Duck Dynasty, we should have the Brady Dynasty.
Yeah. Doing duck calls.
Yeah. Have Nicole come running.
Yeah.
What is it, Brady? Nothing. I was just the call.
My gosh. Well, I watched you on the web series Misbehave playing Marcus Dunn, or Dune. Is it Dunn? It's Dunn, probably.
Yeah.
How did you get that part, and what's it like working on a web series versus a TV show?
Well, web series are kicking some tail in our little industry right now. They are for real, and they're not going anywhere. In fact, they're blowing up. I so wanted to attend the Holly Web Festival this past weekend.
Yeah.
My kids